Hello, amazing entrepreneur. It's Tash Corbin here, and welcome to another episode of the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. This is episode number 311, which means you can find all the relevant links and show notes for today's episode over at tashcorbin.com/311. In today's episode, I'm sharing with you how you start an online business quickly. And when I talk about quickly, I mean super quickly. If you are in the early stages of startup or you feel like you've been in business for a while, but you're just not getting that growth, this is going to be a super juicy episode for you. So let's dive on in. I'm Tash Corbin, and this is the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. Okay, so one of my favorite things to do with online business owners is to help them to get super profitable, super quick sales, super quick income as fast as possible with as little bells and whistles as possible. I am a lean business specialist, and I absolutely love helping people to get rid of all the barriers between them and the money that they want to make. We put so many barriers in between ourselves and our income goals and tell ourselves that in order to make that much money in online business, we need to have X and Y and Z and 1 and 2 and 3. And honestly, most of those things we do not need. So in this episode, I've got 4 strategies for you to start your online business super quickly. And I've also got a free resource for you that will go into even more detail on the strategies and the practical ways that you can attract and convert clients super quickly and super easily without needing all those shiny objects, bells, whistles, and giant audiences. So let's get started. Tip number 1, focus on sales first and foremost. Now, I know that it's for most people in this space, you didn't start a business to be money hungry. I totally understand that. We have a lot of hang-ups when it comes to sales, marketing, money, income, all of those sorts of things. But ultimately, if you want to change people's lives, you need money to do that. If you want to reach and serve thousands of people, the most expensive part of your marketing is reach. If you want to change people's lives, if you want to see people get amazing results, the fastest way to do that is to have them buy a service from you. They need to invest in order to have that buy-in. And if they are investing, they are creating more and more opportunity for you to reach and serve more and more people. So we need to let go of some of those hang-ups around sales and marketing. If you want to get your online business set up and flourishing quickly, focus on the sales. Put your income goal at the top of the list. Having 15,000 followers on Instagram means zilch to your business startup if you are not making sales. And 15,000 followers on Instagram does not automatically equal sales. In fact, followers on social media is one of the least reliable predictors of sales in your business. You can have thousands and thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, and struggle to monetize that audience effectively and struggle to get that audience converting. I've worked with dozens and dozens of clients over the years who come to me with that exact problem. They've spent 4 years building this ginormous following, and they're still not bringing in a few $1,000s a month consistently. They really struggle to get that audience converting into sales. So you can spend years building up an audience and not making money from it. But if you want to grow your online business super fast, the best place for you to focus is on making sales. So that's number 1. Number 2, when it comes to that early growth in your business, the best place to focus is selling VIP one-to-one services. So many people come to me and they want to sell a $97 self-study course. They have bought into this belief that selling courses and passive products is the best possible way to grow their business and grow it quickly. But the average conversion rate in selling something that is low ticket and low touch is under 1%. So in order to make a sale of a $100 product, you need 100 leads for that product. in order to make a sale of a VIP one-to-one service that's going to have high connection, high touch, you're going to actually have a sales conversation. In most cases, 1 out of 3 sales conversations results in a paying client. So when it comes to making those early sales in your business, getting your business off the ground super fast, do you want to need 2,500 people in your audience to make $2,500? Or do you want to have 5 people in your audience to make $2,500? Because that's actually the equation when it comes to selling VIP one-to-one. When you're selling VIP one-to-one, there's less leads required, higher conversion rates, and lower tech needs as well. In order to make those sales, you don't need a course platform, you don't need a website, you don't need a sales page, you don't need a big following, you don't need lead magnets, you don't need a mailing list. In order to make sales VIP one-to-one, you need 3 things. You need something to sell, a way for people to pay you, and a way for you to deliver. That is all you need. Inside my takeoff program, we have people who've had $10,000 months without a website, without a large audience, some without a mailing list. And the way that they've created that is by just having those 3 things. Something to sell. It can be a VIP one-to-one package. Maybe it's 12 sessions over 6 months, and it gets people from where they are to where they want to be through a high touch, one-to-one coaching and mentoring model. A way for people to pay you. You can start a PayPal account for free, and PayPal has automated invoicing already installed in there. So you can send people an invoice via PayPal. They make their payment via PayPal or credit card. PayPal takes their fee. Thank you, PayPal, for letting us be able to charge money without having to have crazy technology-based invoicing systems and all that kind of stuff. That's part of the cost of service, and you can deliver via Zoom. So in order to have a $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 package sale, you need to invest in having a paid license in Zoom and nothing else. Nothing else. You don't need tech stuff set up. You don't need a website. Honestly, so many people put these barriers in front of them and then recognize that all of those barriers that they had to overcome were built in a time when they had no understanding of their audience. They had no clarity of their messaging. And actually, they've built a website with messaging that doesn't resonate or do anything. They've built a large audience of people who aren't actually their ideal clients. They have built all of this technology and created all of this stuff around them, but they still don't have paying clients. And I've had people come to me who've spent over $100,000 on building an audience, building a website, building a mailing list, building funnels, and they still don't have a consistent flow of clients. And the things that we use to get them that consistent flow of clients are mostly not the things that they've built. I had someone come to me, she'd spent $30,000 on a website, and I went and I read every page of her website and I still didn't know what she did. I thought maybe she was in the life coaching space, but I had no idea whether she could help me or not. And that was because that website was built based on her theories alone. She hadn't worked with enough clients. So in most cases, the way that you develop and create highly resonant messaging is through having conversations with your ideal clients. It's listening more than you speak. It's not making assumptions about what people value. It's asking questions about what people are valuing and prioritizing. And in order for you to have those conversations, the fastest way to do it is to work with them as your clients. You don't even need an audience. You already have enough connections and audiences that you can borrow in order to get those sales coming in the door and really develop your service and your resonant messaging. So number 1, focus on sales. Number 2, really consider what it is that you're going to be selling, and where possible, focus on VIP one-to-one services, especially in the early stages of startup. Number 3, ignore all of the shiny stuff. And this is easier said than done, but in most cases, that shiny webinar that convinces you you need this 14-step funnel and that will make the sales for you is simply preying on your resistance to sales. It's making you feel like it would be easier if you just outsource everything to pre-written content. It's trying to convince you that the way to make sales is through getting further and further away from the sales process rather than leaning into it. And in most cases, in order for those automated, shiny, big things to work, you need to have the capacity to buy a large audience. And if you do not have a large budget for your marketing, then your ability to buy that audience is going to be minimal. And so rather than getting all caught up in building shiny things, the getting into the multi-author books or, creating and publishing a book has a very expensive business card. Like, I know so many people who that was their first thing they ever did in their business was they paid $15,000, $20,000 to self-publish a book on a topic that they thought their business was going to be about. They work with 10 clients and all of a sudden they realize that book has nothing to do with what it is that they are working on. And now they have sheds or cupboards full of books that have nothing to do with their business. And the book did nothing for them. It had an early peak of sales to their friends and family. No one actually read it, and they would have been far better off investing that money into high connection, high conversion strategies, or holding on to it until they had something that they knew they could rely upon as a deeply resonant message. They know people will buy it, and then they can spend the money actually recruiting an audience with something that works. So many people get caught up in thinking that there's a shortcut to growing their audience, to getting that sales coming through, and we just get sucked into all the shiny stuff. It's the number one message I get from people when they join the Takeoff program. I wish I had found this sooner. I wish I had found this before I spent this time on this money on that. Sucked into all of those shiny things that ultimately didn't get me any closer to my business growth because it did not help me to build those solid foundations. The solid foundations are a clear niche, deeply resonant messaging, and a value proposition that people can buy into, offers that convert, and high connection, high conversion marketing strategies. Those four things are far more likely to get you big chunky sales in the short term in your business than any of the funnel building, book publishing, high reach but low conversion strategies will. And that is tip number 4, focus on high connection, high conversion. So high connection, high conversion strategies are where you are building one-to-one relationships as much as possible. You can do that with strangers on the internet. You can do that through your existing networks and connections. You can do that by jumping in and joining high connection group programs, working with a mentor who connects you in with people who are in your niche. But honestly, those low connection, high reach strategies for people in startup are often high cost, low return. Now, if this is getting you a little bit excited about the possibilities for your business, you're thinking, oh, I thought I had to have a website first. Oh, I thought I had to have this qualification first. Oh, I thought I had to build an audience of 5,000 people first. Oh, I thought I had to build my list first. And now you're thinking, oh, great. I can actually make sales now without putting all those barriers between me and those sales. Then I have a great resource for you. It's called Fast Track Your Startup. It is a training that I have recorded for you. You can access it instantly, and it goes through more of the detailed step-by-step strategy on how do you go and find those high connection leads? How do you go and start having those sales conversations and get the money coming in faster without putting those barriers between you and the sales? I'll make sure I've got the link for that over with the show notes of today's episode at tashcorbin.com/311. All right, so I want to know from you, what are you committing to taking away in terms of those barriers? What are you going to go and get done as a result of this episode? Slide on into my direct messages on Instagram or Facebook and let me know. I will be looking out for your message. What are you going to do that is going to bring in those sales short term, and what barrier are you going to let go of? If you've been saying, I need a website first, I want you to come into my DMs and say, I'm going to go and make sales without a website. If you've been saying, I need to have this sales funnel built first, I want you to come and tell me, actually, I'm going to make sales without building that sales funnel. I would love for you to come and share with me. And if you do, of course, If I can provide you with some tips, if I can help you to get moving faster, I will let you know the ways that I can support you and some tips and tricks that might be able to get you there even faster. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Heart Centered Business Podcast. Until next time, I cannot wait to see you shine. Bye for now. Would you like more tips, tools, and resources to help you grow your heart-centered business? Head to tashcorbin.com today.